Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Stacey Storino, guys, from normally Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill. But voila, I am today here for my own eponymous channel, Stacey Storino, where I am currently on a 365-day YouTube orbit. Today is October 2nd, 2019. Hello, Stephanie Jones, just the girl I wanted to see. Hey, girl, hey, what's going on? Stephanie, I'm going to cover your idea today, my friend. I'm going to give Stephanie Jared Jones all the credit in the world. Stephanie, drop the name of your YouTube channel down below if it's not your own eponymous or self-named channel, that is, because everybody should go follow Stephanie. She's actually a very good teacher, too. Hey, Rebecca, what's going on? Hey, Miss Diet. Oh, my goodness. You can see Diet Henderson over at Cupcake Trainings. Make sure you subscribe to that. That is the channel of, it's formerly known as Renee Christine, but Renee Christine is still a big presence on there. Diet has a presence on there now. Renee Christine is the #1 coach for handmade businesses in the world. Not just the United States, not just one country, the whole globe, y'all. So she's my mentor. Diet's my friend. I got some students here today. Hey, Andrew George, what's going on? So Stephanie Jones gave me the idea. I mean, I have a pad that goes on for pages with ideas. She says, don't have a YouTube since I've rebranded, but I am the Elegant Blossom on Instagram. Definitely follow Stephanie on the gram. Woo! The whole globe, y'all love it, says Diet. Yes. So, yes, make sure you follow Cupcake Trainings basically everywhere. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Definitely, Stephanie, follow her on the Elegant Blossom, all one word, on Instagram. So today I am talking about a very generalized concept. It'll just be a quick few minutes. I am going to be talking about on day, what day am I on? I am on day 3 of my 365-day orbit on YouTube. So today I want to talk about Stephanie's idea because she gave me one and I'm like, that's got to rise to the top of the list. It's a genuine concern for a lot of entrepreneur moms and even entrepreneur dads. If you're a mom or a dad, you've got kids. However they came into your life, you've got kids. Hi, Lover Dubbers. What's going on? Hi. Glad that you joined us here. So gotta give credit to Stephanie Jones for today's video topic. All right. Now, let me know how many kids you've got down below, if you have any. You certainly don't have to. I'm very curious to know. And people on the replay would be very curious to know too. And people on the replay, thank you for joining us on the replay. And you too could put how many kids you got down below and how tough it often is when you have a business, especially when you work from home. Some of us work from home all the time, part of the time, and even when you were oh my gosh, kawaii cactus, Rebecca, you have 6 kids? Holy smokes. God bless you, girl. That's a lot. That's a lot. Stephanie Jones says 3 kids. Sometimes I feel like I have 4 and 5, dog and hubby. That is very, very honest of you. I appreciate honesty on this channel. I definitely encourage it. I only have one. I had 6 doctors, no joke, tell me that I couldn't even have the 1 kid that I had. Oh, notice my bowl of eaten spaghetti in the background. Perfect Santa Man done, everybody. Okay, so I only have the 1 kid. I had 6 doctors tell me I couldn't even have that 1 kid with my own DNA. My husband was fine, but me, I was the trouble. And for a year and a half, I underwent grueling rounds of fertility treatment every single month. They asked me when I was going to stop, and I said, I will stop when I, 1, hit menopause, or 2, I have a kid. I got the kid. And then I hit menopause a year and a half later, which was insane because I was 41. Whatever. TMI maybe, but moving along. Let's see. Lover Dover says 5 girls. The youngest is 14. God bless you. The 14-year-old is in cheerleading and dance 5 days a week. So I listen to trainings on the road. Well, we're glad that you listen to the trainings, and I'm glad I can keep you company on the road because that's got to be a lot of travel. I have some friends whose kids are in sports, league sports, travel sports, school level sports and not private league. I have a girlfriend whose daughter is in competitive dance, and y'all can be going from county to county, state to state, and abroad, I'm sure, province to province, etc. That is a huge commitment that you have to your children. I honor you for that. I honor all the parents who watch this channel and all the commitment that you have to your kids. So what happens when you have a business, whether you're just getting it off the ground, and to do that properly and go omni-channel, as I like to try to encourage my students to do in whatever stages they have to do it, that can be a huge undertaking, and you're not making very much money, perhaps, in the early phases of your business. And or your business could be making money, but maybe it's not profitable persistently and consistently. And that's frustrating for you, your husband, wife, significant other, maybe the kids, if they're old enough to comprehend that. They're like, Mom or Dad, why are you doing all this? You're not making the big bucks. You're putting in all this effort, for your business, and you're taking away your time, attention, energy, focus, and bandwidth from us, and you say you love us, to this business. And if kids are young, the younger they are, the less mature they may be, the more you-centric they are for themselves. The world kind of revolves around them. When they're an infant and in toddler mode, of course, definitely that's how it is. But even once they get into tweens and teens, they're not miniature adults, no matter how big they're getting, no matter how many growth spurts they're undergoing. I'm sure lover-dovers could agree on that, at least conceptually. With some kids, you might know, but this is the thing. They get really mad after a while that you are not focusing on them. Whether it's an individual kid or all your kids, the family, sometimes your spouses or significant others. If I say spouse, just read in what's appropriate for you. Sometimes they get really frustrated. So, especially with kids, how can you perhaps get them more involved in your business so that it's not so much of an us against them thing? I do recommend, as much as possible, to kind of, as a sidebar to this, take your kid or kids, we'll just say kid, if there's more than one you read that into, you take your kid once a week on like a mother-child date, if you will, where for whatever amount of time that you could put together, for 1, 2, 3 hours, whatever you can do, that you go out with that kid or kids and you focus nothing but time, love, attention, and bandwidth on them. It doesn't have to involve a lot of money. If you have to be frugal, you do what you have to do. You could go for a walk with them. If you have a swimming pool, or one that you have, or one that you can go to, you can swim with them. You can take them to the library and chill out, all sorts of things. But at the very least, they will be less hostile about your business if you specifically carve out time where even once a week you build up to that, almost like it's a romantic date. You're excited, you're planning for it, you're communicating with them about that throughout the week, you're hyping it up, you're getting them excited so that the time will feel special and your narrowed down focus on them will be special. That will help kind of set the foundation for them to be more accepting of your business. Next, I'm going to get to my tips about various ways you can weave them into your business. Really quickly, Stephanie says, my girls love to read. So when they come home, that is their time to learn with them and spend time with them. See, it doesn't have to cost money, but it does have to cost time and exclusivity. So if it works out good for you to do it at or near the home and your kids are cool, that's cool. But sometimes, and I'm guilty of this too, my son and I just had this conversation the other day. Our mother-son dates in our example really can't take place in the house. And it might be different for Stephanie and her family and for you and your families. But if I'm in the house, even if work doesn't call out to me, the housework calls out to me, and I'm not trying to be a Stepford housewife or anything, but I have 4 cats. So you got to clean that litter box twice a day. You got to sweep and mop a little bit more than once a week. You don't want to engage in rote make work. Your perfect is definitely the enemy of done, as I said before, with that little bowl that's off in the lower left hand corner of the screen as I'm looking at it. And we will talk about make work versus necessary housework and how I schedule things around work and family and worship, if that's applicable to you, etc. That'll be the subject of another video during my 365-day orbit. But sometimes you may have to go off campus, is my whole point, because too many things call out to me. I'm a multitasker, and normally I can pull it off pretty efficiently. I'll have tips in another video in my 365-day orbit. A lot of it's really planned and plotted out, which I guess is cool, right? But I have to take my son away. We have to go on a walk if we don't have much money, or on a drive, or when we do have some cash, I will take him out to a movie or to a meal or to the trampoline park or whatever. So you do you with you and your kids. If you could do it at home all the time or most of the time, cool. Do what works, work what works. Now, tips in terms of folding your kids into your business. Hopefully when you spend time on parent-kid dates with them or outings with them, if, using the word dates is kind of a little uncomfortable for you, outings with them, that will help kind of sweeten the deal when you say, hey, come to be involved in my work. Now, depending upon their age, their maturity level, their capability, etc., it's going to vary what you do. But you want to kind of see if you can, to whatever degree is possible, encourage kids to get involved with your business. Now, a lot of you watching this, although not necessarily all of you, will be having a handmade business. So I don't know, let's use that as an example, but I can do things for direct sales. I can do things for regular office work at home. I have a couple examples I want to share super quick. So maybe they can help you pack items, label items. Now, why would they want to do this? We'll get into this in a minute. Well, some kids, it depends on the kid. Some kids just naturally want to be part of the team. And so if that's kind of the main thrust behind that kid or some of your kids, then, that's enough. And you give them pride and ownership. This isn't just your company. It's their company too. It's the family business. Perhaps you stylize things that way. So it's not us versus them. It's all us. It's a cohesive whole. And we'll go on and unpack this in a minute. So if kids can pack, if kids can label, if kids can shred stuff for you, if kids can even do some of the assembly, I don't know if that's possible. I don't know. Different ones of you have different types of businesses involving different processes. So, obviously you're going to do, it depends. Stephanie says, when I'm making my product, if the girls are around, they hold the material for me and they give it to me as they need it. So they're involved in the assembly process, so maybe if you have more than one kid, they're all involved in different parts of the assembly line, if you will. So that's a great way to do it. Maybe you have a machine. And, if it's an older kid that's responsible with your oversight, maybe they can help you set up the machine or take it down if there's, space considerations, or they can help you maintain it or clean it. It depends. Maybe they can hand you tools, maybe they can hold, stuff while you are assembling it or gluing it and helping you hold it down. But there's other ways that this can show up too. They can, oh, yep, they also love holding the boxes when we go to the post office, says Stephanie. That's a good thing to do too. They can be with you at craft fairs and holiday bazaars. They can help to hand out flyers. A lot of kids that aren't shy may never be shy, or they're too young to be shy yet. It depends on the kid, right? They're great and they're cute. Who does not want to take like a business card, a magnet business cards? I always like those better. People are less likely to go toss a magnet card. They'll stick it on their fridge. And even if they're not going to be attracted to you, somebody who's exposed to that magnet card might be attracted to you. And that really is the case no matter what kind of business you have. They could help keep you company at craft fairs. They could be there as great icebreakers if you're shy, or if you're trying to get the kid to be a little less shy, they're not painfully shy, and you're trying to get them used to being in the flow of the public. There's a lot of ways that you could get kids involved. Now, if you're like a direct salesperson, you get the catalogs from your company. I know that when I was in direct sales and I had a downline of 50 something people, we were always crowdsourcing ideas for kid-safe ways, even younger kids, to get involved with their business. So maybe the kids would help them stuff the bags when the shipment came in, especially for not dealing with breakables, right? A lot of cloth stuff. We did 31 gifts, so it was a lot of purses and wallets and organizers and all sorts of stuff. Or they could help mom label the catalogs. They could help them stuff hostess packets and stuff like that. So that's really cool. That's an idea. If you're more office-based because you're providing services and stuff like that, you could totally have kids like make photocopies. You could have them shred stuff for you. You could have them file stuff for you. You could have them stuff envelopes, stick stamps on them if you have the pre-made return address envelopes. There's so many different ways, no matter what kind of incarnation or what type of business you run, that you can get kids from small to older to help you. And obviously, the older they are, it's great to kind of teach them what it's like to be an entrepreneur, even if this is a side hustle because you have to work a main job, or even if you're working a side hustle to bootstrap for your home-based business. These are conversations that as kids get into tweens, let alone teens, they should understand how the entrepreneurial life works. If I'm not mistaken, there are statistics out there that say that we're getting to the point where the self-employed people and or gig-based economy folks are getting to be neck and neck with people who are working in more of an office environment. So, who knows? The trend may continue to skew so that more likely than not, one or more of your children will be self-employed themselves somehow. So I actually think it's very important for your mindset to try and sweep your kids and include them, because the more you include them, the less us versus them mentality you'll have. Now, some kids are natural helpers and some neutral, and some might want to have nothing to do with it. The kids that are kind of neutral to don't want to have much to do with it, you could look at it this way. You could say, listen, it depends upon your circumstances. You'll take out of this what kind of conversation you need to have with them. But the younger they are, the more self-interested they are. So, if Disney World or Disneyland or something along the lines is attractive to them, I know that with direct sales, especially when we had home-based parties, kids would be pissed because like mom might work a day job, part-time or full-time. And then what do you mean you're also going out a Friday or a Saturday night too? Boo, I hate 31. I hate your business. You don't want to be with me and all this sad stuff. So what a lot of times folks would say is, listen, a part of the money that I make after taxes, I'm shooting away into like the Disney World fund or fill in the blank for that kid, your fantasy baseball camp or whatever. and then kids are like, ooh, can I help you? The neutral based kids will definitely be more inclined to help you too once they realize that they've got skin in the game along with you. Your outcome affects them in a good way. Because, listen, with some kids that are highly analytical, you could explain to them, the more money I make, the better it is for our family and stuff like that. And maybe that's enough. But some kids will get that intellectually, but emotionally, they need to have their hearts touched. And so, appealing to them in terms of how it benefits them and the family outside of just cut and dry finances is often the way to go. So I don't know, do any of you guys who are watching this, do you have any tips or tricks like Stephanie shared in terms of how you can involve your kids? Do you involve your kids in your business? If not, should you? You don't have to necessarily say it in the comments, but you're welcome to if you want to. Stephanie says, it's hard with teens for sure. It depends on the teen. It depends. If they're very analytical, hey, you might be able to reason with them. You just have to be patient, because who knows how stubborn or how walled off they are from you. If they're like crying because they want like money for a phone or for a device or more, digital currency for their games, that's another way to harness them and say, listen, you help me with my business, I make more money, I can take a percentage out to pay you. Of course, there are legal compliance and tax issues in America, and I'm sure other places in the world. The FLSA is one law that you do have to pay attention to. Let's see, FLSA, the Fair Labor Standards Act. I didn't want to use the wrong acronym. So Onika, hey Onika, what's going on? My kids love asking about my sales, and my daughter helps me with packaging, and she's 11. This is important. I love to hear things like that, Onika. It's great to get them when they're younger, because like Stephanie said, the older they get, the more resistant, stubborn, walled off, more they're trying to push off and be their own person. That's often part of what's dyed in the wool as kids get older. It doesn't have to be that way, but it can be. So the earlier you can swoop them into your business, so that they see it's a family business, it's not an us versus them thing. You're getting them involved. You rely on them. Of course, you pile on all the praise that they're interested, that they're helping, what they're doing right. Lots of kids, whether they have bad self-esteem, neutral self-esteem, or good, you cannot pile on too much praise for a kid. And as they get into teen years, this is a great way for them to have constructive, like tangible proof that they are very reliable, that they are very capable. You know what I mean? So Stephanie says, my oldest is a creative soul also, so she has helped me, and I buy her art stuff for her to make stuff, right? One hand washes the other. That is so excellent. And your daughter might, now or down the road, want to have her very own business, like my son. For example, to get Stephen, my son, interested in the type of content-based work I do, I had him start his own YouTube channel, Stephen Show 08. There we go. So my son's channel is Stephen Show 08. It wouldn't hurt for you to subscribe to him. Why? Because he's my kid? That too. But he actually has a channel that I worked on with him last year. We're going to circle back to it once I hire a video editor, because I just can't do all the all the professional things that I do for my Woman 101 based business, especially now that I'm a joint venture partner with Renee, right? With Renee Christine. Her channel, again, has been renamed on YouTube to Cupcake Trainings, because you're going to see me there. You're going to see Diet there. You've already seen Diet there. You're going to see more of us there over time. You want to subscribe to my son's channel because he has a couple of playlists that are good about kids who want to become entrepreneurs, whether it's have their own YouTube channel or not. Safe ways that kids can have an online presence There's actually a video that he recommends of Nick Nimmons that shows you how to screen out like bad language or suggestive or violent terms. Although nowadays on YouTube, a minor's channel up to a certain age, they cut off the ability to even have or see comments on them anymore to protect them from pervs. But, if more people knew about the screening element that you could turn on in the back office of the creator studio of your YouTube channel, they might not have had to have done that so much. By the way, if you have your own YouTube channel, yes, you too can do that, so pervs can't come on and be all nasty. Hint, hint. But my son's channel actually has a playlist. It's got like 8-9 videos in it that walks you through how to establish your brand and your brand experience. So, and he did really, really well with that. So maybe likewise, your kid can start doing their own brand, or your kid might see teens and tweens, especially, this might turn them on too. Here's another tip. They might want to help you with your social media, right? So of course we're thinking in terms of like age appropriateness and stuff like that. But some kids, tween and teen style, they may know more about tech and social media than you do. Sit down with them. It's something to have in common. Y'all can hash and learn back and forth, and they can take pictures and videos for you as you're doing product demonstrations, spotlight videos, solution set 3-piece videos, and so on and so forth. They can help take the images of the video. They can help you upload them. They can help you optimize them. Some of these kids, they're called digital natives for a reason. They either know more than you think they do, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, or they soak it up like sponges and boom, they can help you, right? So how excited is that? The Helpful Entrepreneur. Hi, everyone. Hi. Thank you for joining us. So I hope that those tips and those types of mindset helps you when the kid feels like when the child or children feel like they're part of your business and it's a family business. They're less combative. There's less banging heads, us versus them. Depending upon the kid, their maturity level, any issues that they have with the work that you do, that may be enough. And then you fold them in the mix of helping you with your business. At the very least, getting them to understand why your business is important and why, even if now they're not too into it, later the invitation is always open. And having that parent-child kind of like dater outing once a week where they're your sole focus, not otherwise house, spouse, kid, other kids, worship, pets, plants, everything else you've got going on, your work, making them a central focus for a while will definitely take some of that combativeness out of them too. Yes, Kawaii Cactus Rebecca says, YouTube will be turning off comments to any channel that has content that kids watch. Craft Baked channel may be at risk if YouTube thinks it's targeted at kids. I know that that's very, very frustrating. As I wrap this video up, I will say, great points to help get your kids involved in a business. Thank you. If you guys are just checking in now live, definitely circle back to the replay. I love all of the input that I got from you guys today. I hope I helped. Even if you can't take some of these tips directly, they might kick off other thoughts that and other solutions that are best tuned to your family. But don't give up. Even if a kid's not digging it now, they're not going to necessarily, let me put it to you like this. Even if a kid is a bit sour on your business now, over time, they might be more open to it as you discuss with them about it, as you invite them to be involved in it. Maybe again, the social media part, kids love. So that might just be the right hook for teens and tweens, especially. But yeah, the fact that certain channels might have the comments turned off, I know that that's challenging. YouTube has just come under so much scrutiny. They've been the subject of so many lawsuits and so many investigations, rightly, wrongly, and everything in between. They're having to make some really tough decisions, really, really tough decisions. Do I think that your child, if they want to start building a platform for themselves, let alone for their own business, because they might dig that too. I shouldn't have used the air quote. their own business. They can have theirs. You can have yours. You could help each other, right? Be on each other's teams. That might help. Just because they can't get comments and that kind of engagement on their videos, or let's say a crafts channel, unfortunately, rightly or wrongly, has their comments turned off, there's still a whole lot more that can be gleaned by having your own YouTube channel for your brand and or your child's brand and or the family brand, right? Beyond just engagement and comments like that. I promise you, but that's a subject of a whole nother video for a whole nother day during my 365-day YouTube live stream orbit. So I've hit my half-hour mark, you guys. I hope you found this useful. If you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure that you hit the big red subscribe button and click the bell notification. Make sure you circle back to the channel. Click the bell notification again. You will see options open up. Please select all, so this way you get all the notifications, because if you don't, you might get none. This is YouTube's way of trying to solve the inability to serve everybody their notifications for YouTube videos. Give her a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up, guys. I appreciate it, and I will talk to you later. Bye.